Hey everyone, good morning and welcome to a special edition of AM in the AM. That's Amy and Mary in the morning. And we are bringing you a special edition of our show. These will be impromptu shows where we're going to be talking about the latest and greatest tips and trends in social media, especially after conferences that either we're both attending or Amy's attending or I'm attending. So these are not scheduled really. They're just going to be like, hey, we went to a great conference. Maybe we go to a great local event here. Maybe we're collaborating with someone and we want to bring you the latest and greatest tips and trends in social media. So good morning, everyone. I'm Mary Fain Brandt with a LinkedIn Bakery and my colleague, and my colleague, Amy Aram. And Amy, tell us a little bit about yourself before we get started.
Hi, Amy Iram. My company is Capitalize Social Media, helping businesses connect with consistency and purpose. And I'm really excited to be here today. Thanks for having me, Mary.
I'm so excited
for our show.
Yeah, Amy and I go way back. We actually met at a meetup and then attended conferences, volunteered at conferences. We collaborate and partner together on several different things. So, hey guys, go ahead and hit that little share button because you know that you want to share this with your network right now because this is going to be amazing. Amy just came back from Social Media Week Lima, right? Lima. Not Lima.
Yeah. Nope,
there was a whole thing on, is it Lima or is it Lima? And so I said, Amy, let's do an AM in the AM show and let's share the hottest tips and trends from the conference that you just attended. So please let us know where you're watching from. This should be broadcasting on all of my channels. LinkedIn, I have LinkedIn Live access, so I'm super excited. Please let me know if that's coming through. You can hear us okay, because runs a little different than Facebook Live. I'm learning how to navigate LinkedIn Live. We're super excited to have you here. Amy, I would like to, I know we're going to get into all the conference details, and it's amazing. Jessica Phillips is, she is just smart, savvy, sweet. Just amazing. We both met her last year at Social Media Day San Diego, and she is the host of Social Media Week Lima. And I know a bunch of people went, and I was totally having FOMO, fear of missing out. You guys probably saw all those posts last week because I'm like, everyone's going and I'm not going, but I can't be everywhere. We have to pick and choose where we go. So I'm so grateful that you're going to come on the show, and we're going to talk about what you learned and what the hottest tips and trends were. So why don't you tell us what was the overall theme of the conference?
Yeah, so the theme was craveable, and that's exactly what it did. The conference itself was craveable to me because I had learned so much about it and knew so many people going, and the relationship marketing that Jessica lives and breathes really was always very appealing to me. That's really how I want to run my agency and how I do run my agency. And the craveable was really the overarching theme. That was the theme of the whole conference. So making those experiences, what she teaches is building relationships, and those relationships being more powerful than marketing. So we can spend a lot of time in different efforts of marketing, but what's behind it all and what's the theme and what should be at the core of what you do with your marketing is building relationships with the people that you meet either online or in person, and back and forth. So that was definitely the overarching theme, and there's a couple other topics that we'll talk about too.
Sweet. Okay, I'm just playing with the controls again. I'm in a different setup, so I don't have my little stream deck with my cheat buttons. So I really like Jessica's approach, the relationship marketing. I think that goes hand in hand with what Mark Schaefer was saying at Social Media Marketing World, that we got to get back to being authentic marketers. We got to get back to the relationships, people doing business with people, not brands, right? So it's all about not just establishing the relationship, but cultivating and nurturing the relationship. And Jessica does such a great job of that, right?
She does, even down to specific details, how she's now known for giving speaker gifts to the little ball heads, customized versions. And it's cute because some of the speakers have been there for a few years, so they have a couple of them to compare. They're so funny. And then this year she had a caricature artist, Kathy Nolan, there drawing pictures, caricature drawings.
I saw some of those.
Speakers. I was like, I want one of my own. I really want to get in on that. So just the little things that she does to really make her conference stand out and just helps people, helps bring people together. That was just the most it's just to be able to experience that firsthand was just the best experience. Very memorable that I won't soon forget for sure.
Ah, that's wonderful. It's the little details, right, that
Right,
really show that she cares. And I think
right,
that we all need to remember that as business owners. It's the thank you note,
yeah,
or I know one of my guests on my show, she's also a marketing strategist, Lauren Powell. She actually sent me, like, I think it was a Thanksgiving card last year. I was like, who is this from? And it was just wanted to thank you for, being in her group and supporting her. And I'm like, wow, that to me, like, I will remember that.
yeah, yeah,
See?
definitely. Yeah, those little things, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, absolutely. So the conference was all about craveable content, right? That was the overall theme this year. How did that
Right.
play out, and what do you want to share about that, about the craveable content?
Yeah, definitely. It's just craveable was the theme, not only in content, but just in how you build your business and how you interact
Oh, okay.
overall. So it was really neat to see how they weave that theme into all the different topics. So starting off with of course, with Jessica opening up and her stance on relationship marketing, that's just a really powerful way to begin. And then going right into not actually like social media content, which surprised me. It was going right into like soft skills, like things that as business owners we need to be aware of and that we need to learn from to make our business successful, individually from like a personal standpoint. So Stephanie Liu, I was so lucky to get to travel with her. She's just an amazing being in
She
this
is.
world. She, surprisingly enough, didn't talk about Facebook Live. She was talking about communication, and her topic was captivating on command: how to motivate the masses with only your words. And she talks about 4 different styles of communication and understanding that and she has a quiz I'll put in the comments. You can learn yours if you don't all know it already, but your specific way of communicating and how you get your message across. It's important to understand that who you're speaking to and what kind of communication style they have and being able to adapt to that. Because if you're talking in 2 different ways, you're not going to have as productive as a conversation as if you are understanding, this is the way that I speak, and then they're speaking a different way and adapting your style to
Because they
that.
can't retain the information, right?
Right. Right.
If the style is way off, they might not. It just won't translate right. They're not going to be drawn to you
Right.
if the
Right.
communication styles are very different. I mean, that's something, yeah, in communication classes and stuff, right? That
Yeah.
you
Oh,
learn
yeah.
all about. But I think sometimes we forget about that. We just think about, this is who I am, this is how I communicate. But if you're really into growing your audience and really having true relationships with your clients and your, not only your clients but your colleagues, right? Like you and I, or Mary Rose and I, or Kathy. How do each of you communicate? What is your communication style? And I need to understand that to have a stronger relationship with you.
Yeah, definitely. And she had, like I said, she has a quiz I'll add in here, and you can find out what you are, and then really understanding that. So I want to make sure I get all the styles right, but I wanted to say kinesthetic,
Yep.
audio, visual, and no, audio,
It's
visual,
it's
good,
visual, audio, auditable, or whatever it's
right?
called,
Yeah,
kinesthetic,
yeah. And digital. Digital
digital.
was the last
I was
one.
like, what's the fourth one?
Yeah, yeah, and I don't really understand that one because that's not mine at all, but I'm really committed to doing some more research to understand because it's really, like I said, super powerful, and there's a way for you to find out what yours is. So the next soft skill speaker and the first day that I really enjoy listening to and seeing transformations was Brian Kramer. He did a live hot seat about creating the life that you deserve, and it was
Ooh.
all about success. We just talked about this. This is really cool. This is a very intriguing topic for me because he was talking about how we think we're very driven as entrepreneurs and we want to be very successful, and then we get hung up on different transformations in life and different things that go on in our business. And he's now coaching people out through those transitions. So he actually live on stage, he picked up 2 people out of stage on stage and asked them what kind of transition they're going through in life and how can they get past it, and like just ask them question over question of how they can get past it, like really getting into the deep thought process of these people and why they're stuck in these different transitions.
They got to peel the layers, right?
Layers
Peel
back.
the onion layers away to get to
Yep.
the root or the center of what's holding you back, or what your wall is, or what your fear is, right? Just keep pulling the onion layers apart.
And one of the girls was Sarah. She talked about, maybe I'm afraid of success. And it's just a weird thing to think about how we can be afraid of success when that's what we're really going after, right? Or whatever, success means to you. And I really got to thinking about that and found that I think maybe a part of it is because success is so undefined, right? We can think of, hopefully you have it defined as what's really going to be when you feel like you're successful, what that's going to look like to you. But if you don't, you can be very afraid of that and be afraid of success because you don't actually know what that means and what that looks like. And so us, we're naturally fearful of the unknown, that if you don't actually pinpoint that and have a clear understanding of what success means to you, that could be scary.
Well, I also think that success changes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what means success to you 5 years ago, right? Think about that.
Yeah.
To what your success looks like today, to what your success might look like in 10 years. I think that we have to maybe redefine success as we go through this journey journey of life. What does success look like in your family? What does success look like to you personally? What does your business success look like? So there's different levels of success, different areas of success. I think it's hard to just lump it all together.
Yeah. It's true. So it's very important that you define that and what it means to you specifically, so you have something tangible to look towards and know that this is what I'm after, and not it be this like crazy unknown thing that we're scared of.
Because you can't reach your goals if you don't know what your goals are.
Right. Exactly.
And whether that's monetary or more time, or you're buying a house, or you're traveling, or you're able to hire people to help them. Right? Mm-hmm. We've talked about that, having an agency and actually hiring people, or outsourcing, or maybe you just want a small business. So you really have to define what your goals are so you can talk about what your success looks like, so you can make the steps to reach your success.
Yeah, exactly. And then another topic that was talked about a lot is live video. And that exactly. Hello, here we are. That transcends really throughout the conference in a couple different ways. Again, because, in the theme of Craveable, how we are wanting to create content and create experiences and build relationships. I mean, live video on Facebook specifically has been around for a couple of years now, almost 3 years. And
has it only been 3 years?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's been 2.5 actually.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's crazy. I know how it's evolved so much, but in general, it's just not going away. Of course, now LinkedIn Live has finally made its debut, and we're hopefully streaming on there.
We are. I checked. We're streaming on LinkedIn right now, and I'm super excited that I got access to that.
So exciting. So, so live video. There's so many valuable benefits to it, and being able, and then that's the next thing I want to talk about is, and I know I'm guilty of not doing this as often as I should, but live video allows businesses to be human, to create that personal connection, that you're not just interacting with the brand, you're interacting with the team, you're interacting with the founder, however you decide to go about it in your strategy, that having those conversations in that live video helps you build relationships. And again, going back to the theme of the whole conference. So there was a lot of talk about people, I was just sitting there going, oh yes, I understand, the whole time why people don't go on live video and why they don't push the dang button, as Brian Fanzo says.
So let me tell you right now, so I just got a notification that our streaming quality just went down. So so that's, that's live video, you guys. It's going to happen. So we'll see how this actually comes out. So what is maybe the final thing that you want to share about the conference?
Yeah, definitely. So telling your story, all about live video and the opportunity to tell your story, whether it be on stage or, again, from video on any social platform that you choose, telling your story and giving your audience the ability to connect with you. I give an example. I was at a meeting a couple weeks ago, and, there was a bunch of people there. And when someone got on stage and shared, 2 women actually said that they have in common that they're both Geminis and they're both poker players. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm a Gemini. I'm a poker player. Oh my gosh. And I was like, I immediately went up to them afterwards. And, like being able to share things about yourself. I think sometimes we're hesitant to do that, but that is what allows that connection. If you don't share about yourself, you're not going to have that connection point anyway.
And we were talking about this before we went live, that a lot of people, they think it has to be all professional. I have to just be talking about, like for me, only talk about LinkedIn, Mary, right? Because that's what you're known for and that's what you want to be known for. But I don't, we need to like push that aside. We need to share our personal stories so people can relate to us. It's the know, like, trust factor. It's the, I keep going back to people do business with people, not brands. Yeah. And the more I share my personal story, whether it's my business struggles or my real personal story about my mom and the Alzheimer's, that's when people are like, oh, wow, like your business gives back, and the fundraisers that we do, or their mom has Alzheimer's, or, their father or someone. It is that relatable aspect. And I think it's so important for all of us to share our stories. There's somebody out there, there's more than one person that needs to hear your story. So write that up, talk about it, and I promise you, the more you talk about your personal story, the easier it gets. And some of our personal stories are ugly and they're dark and they're scary. And it will take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times before you're like, okay, I can say this without getting emotional. Right? So I think that's part of it. We think we have to contain our emotions. And I still get somewhat emotional. And there are times where, other times when I'm sharing my stories about my business and my struggles, I just want to throw the computer, because we all have those struggles. But I think that being authentic and sharing our frustrations or sharing our personal stories of where we come from, I think that makes us more relatable. And that's what it's all about, relationship marketing.
Yeah, definitely.
Goes right back.
It does. It full circle. The theme was so apparent, and it was just weaved absolutely through the whole event. It was just very, very well put on. I just thank Jessica so much for having the opportunity for us to be there and just to experience the whole event, because it's really one of those you have to be there. And hopefully you'll go with me next year. I know she actually has tickets on sale for only $70 before, if you buy your ticket by the 30th of June. I'll put the link in there too. But,
awesome.
It's definitely a very unique experience that I think everyone should have the opportunity to.
So you're going to put the link for Stephanie Liu Communications, or Communication Style, the link to buy your early bird tickets. And we're not affiliates or anything. Amy and I just like to help other people. And Amy and I think that we believe a lot of the same things. Like, we promote people and conferences that we believe in that have a really great value. So we'll put that in, or Amy will. And then we're going to Social Media San Diego Day this Friday, and we're doing a recap on that as well, right?
Yeah, we are.
Is that Saturday?
Friday.
No, the conference is Friday, but we're going to do a recap on Saturday.
Yes, we are doing the recap on Saturday. You're right.
We'll get that posted so that you guys both have our different takeaways on. And then